Space is mostly silence, mostly emptiness, mostly things we can explain with math we have been refining for centuries. But not always. These 4 events have been documented, photographed, measured by instruments, studied by institutions with real funding and real credentials. And none of them has a clean, universally accepted explanation. 1. Oumuamua. On October 19th, 2017, astronomer Robert Verick spotted something unusual using the Pan-STARRS telescope at Haleakala Observatory in Hawaii. It was an object passing through our solar system, but it had not come from our solar system. It was the first confirmed interstellar visitor ever detected. An object from another star system that had crossed the vast distance between stars and entered ours. They named it Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first. The shape was immediately strange. Based on how its brightness fluctuated as it tumbled through space, astronomers calculated that Oumuamua was approximately 400 meters long and only 40 meters wide, an aspect ratio of roughly 10:1. No known asteroid or comet in our solar system has a shape anything like that. In 2018, Avi Loeb, chair of Harvard University's astronomy department, co-authored a paper in the astrophysical journal Letters suggesting the acceleration was consistent with a light sail, an artificial, thin, reflective structure propelled by solar radiation pressure. 2. The Hessdalen Lights. The Hessdalen Valley sits in central Norway, about 120 kilometers south of Trondheim. It is remote, quiet, and since the early 1980s has been one of the most scientifically documented locations for unexplained aerial phenomena on Earth. Reports began in earnest in 1981. Residents described white and yellow-white lights above the valley, sometimes stationary, sometimes moving at speeds that cameras struggled to capture. At the phenomenon's peak, between 1981 and 1984, there were up to 20 reported sightings per week. In 1983, a formal scientific investigation called Project Hessdalen was launched, led by Norwegian researchers Erling Strand and Bjørn Gitle Hauge. They set up instruments, radar, infrared cameras, spectrum analyzers, magnetometers, and video recording equipment. What they captured changed the conversation from speculation to documentation. The lights were detected simultaneously on radar and on camera. They are physically real. In one documented instance, a light was tracked moving at an estimated 30,000 kilometers per hour. In others, objects hovered motionless for minutes before vanishing. Spectroscopic analysis of captured footage showed emission lines consistent with plasma, ionized gas, at temperatures far above what conventional atmospheric phenomena produce. No single explanation has been formally adopted. The lights continue to appear. 3. The 2004 magnetar flare. At 21 hours, 30 minutes and 26 seconds UTC on December 27th, 2004, a burst of energy reached Earth from a neutron star called SGR 1806-20, located approximately 50,000 light-years away in the Milky Way. A magnetar is what remains when a massive star collapses. It is an object roughly 20 kilometers in diameter, containing more mass than our Sun.
Spinning at extreme speeds, with a magnetic field of approximately 1015 Gauss, roughly 1,000 times stronger than a typical neutron star, and about a quadrillion times stronger than Earth's magnetic field.
On that December night, SGR 1806-20 released more energy in 0.2 seconds than our Sun will produce in 250,000 years. The burst was detected by multiple space observatories simultaneously. The flare was so powerful that it physically affected Earth from 50,000 light-years away. It ionized the uppermost layer of Earth's atmosphere, the D layer, briefly compressing it as if it were daytime. The flare would likely have destroyed the ozone layer. It was 50,000 light-years away and still physically altered our atmosphere. 4. The Black Knight Satellite. The Black Knight is the most complicated entry on this list because it is partly conspiracy theory built on top of genuinely real documented events. In 1960, Time magazine reported that US military radar had detected an unidentified object in polar orbit around Earth. This is the real documented event. At the time, no US or Soviet satellite had been placed in polar orbit, which made the detection unusual. Both the US and USSR denied any knowledge of the object. The Time article exists. The radar detection is real. In 1963, astronaut Gordon Cooper reported observing a greenish glowing object ahead of his capsule during the Mercury Atlas 9 mission. This is recorded in NASA communications archives from the Faith 7 flight. Then there is the photograph. During the STS-88 space shuttle mission in 1998, NASA astronauts photographed an object near the shuttle that generated enormous online speculation. The object appears angular, dark, and artificial. It has been reproduced on millions of websites as evidence of an alien satellite. NASA's documented explanation is that the object is a tracy thermal blanket, a piece of insulation that came loose during an EVA and was captured on film before drifting away. The thermal blanket is listed as a lost item in the mission report. The claim that the object is 13,000 years old originates from Scottish author Duncan Loonan's 1973 interpretation of radio echo anomalies from the 1920s, which he claimed decoded as a star map from the system Epsilon Bootes. Loonan later retracted this interpretation himself. What remains, stripped of the mythology? A radar detection in 1960 that was never officially explained, an astronaut's contemporaneous report, and a photograph with an official explanation most people have never read. The photograph is real. The thermal blanket explanation is documented. Whether you accept it is a separate question. 4 events, all documented, all measured by real instruments at real institutions. Some explained, some not. The universe is under no obligation to be comfortable. Like and subscribe for more on the unexplained, the documented, and the things science is still working out. Drop a comment. Which of these 4 sits with you the longest? Thanks for watching.